it just occurred to me to start singing, I like to move it, but we're not. We're having a moment here of quiet. Okay, so we're in chapter 2. I can't just tell you like that we're actually reading the chapters and they're going so smoothly. It's so fun. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's my thing. So chapter 2 is called The Separation and the Atonement. And I just asked my class, like, what is the meaning of atonement? Because I just felt like I had misinformation. And then she showed me on page 5 in Miracles 26, it says, miracles represent freedom from fear. Atoning means undoing. The undoing of fear is an essential part of the atonement. And she added the undoing of separation. So this is called the separation and the atonement. Like, okay, here's where the separation started, and here's how we can undo it. So we read the first section today, Origins of Separation, and it talked about like where we went wrong. And again it kind of requalified or just rephrased the at the bottom of paragraph 3. It's well, not at the bottom, but on paragraph 3, in paragraph 3, which is at the bottom, it says, when Adam listened to the lies of the serpent, in quotes, all he heard was untruth. And then it says, you do not have to continue to believe what is not true unless you choose to do so. Okay, so what I like about the Course is that, you know, it said, okay, here's the fall of man according to his religious historical documentation, and you don't have to believe lies anymore. You don't have to like stay asleep, because it says later, the Bible says that a deep sleep fell upon Adam, and yet nowhere is there a reference to his waking up. And so this is our waking up from him. And then it says, the world has not yet experienced any comprehensive reawakening or rebirth. Such a rebirth is impossible as long as you continue to project or miscreate. And what this is so helpful to me, because it's just, what I like is it's asking me, where am I projecting? Where am I miscreating? Where am I judging? Where am I expressing lack of love anywhere? I'm not going to see the whole world wake up if I'm still doing it. And I like working that the world is a projection of my mind. So it's like, you still have work to do. Actually, it appears you have a lot of work to do, because the world is a little bit upset right now. I mean, maybe it always has been. It's just we're seeing it more clearly. But it says, here's how you wake up. You wake up and realize there was no error. You never left. Like we talked about this yesterday. The waking up is like, it's like a nightmare. Like I had have you had those nightmares where you killed someone or something terrible happened? I think I remember having one like that. I had a boyfriend and it was like, oh shoot, no, I have a husband. And I was like, oh, this can't work. Whatever, but the things, you wake up and it's like, it's all gone, it vanished. And you're like relieved. You're back to some form of peace, hopefully. And you're just like, oh, that never really happened. Oh, thank God. It actually talks in detail about that, like how you could be sleeping and someone's trying to wake you up, right? Let's say I see Justine like totally upset in her dreams and I start to try to wake her up. It says, if a light is suddenly turned on while someone is dreaming a fearful dream, he may initially interpret the light itself as part of the dream. Like she might, like if I was shaking her, she might think like maybe now the thing in her dream is shaking, and she hasn't quite shifted consciousness or awareness. But it says, however, when he awakens, the light is correctly perceived. Like, so you come back to awareness of like, okay, that didn't happen. And this can be so challenging because some of us haven't gone yet through the phase of like working through the traumatic interpretations we've had, like of experiences in our life that have been extremely traumatic or overwhelming, and just maybe we were too young to process it. Maybe we were in a very difficult state to process it and kind of correctly organize it. And that's what my spiritual community is about, is like making sure we are not carrying things in our life that we are not waking up from. We're actually re-traumatizing ourselves with them by holding them in our mind in a way that's hurtful. So definitely for some people, and the book says that forgiveness is the cure, and it's to cut all those cords of like holding on to all this upset negativity, because it's like, that's the Course is trying to say, it was a dream. And not that we're just meant to live a nightmare and be like, what, that didn't happen? What is this life? You know, it's just, our main thing is to reconnect with who we really are, and to be viewing life and its experiences from that like central location where we're totally safer and at peace. And the miracle can be all the people we meet in our lives. The miracles are those who bring us back into our loving heart, those who bring us back to a sense of peace of mind. And our whole group tonight was talking about how the end of paragraph 5 was like such a like kicker for conclusion, which it said, in reality, you're perfectly unaffected by all expressions of lack of love. These can be from yourself and others, from yourself to others, or from others to you. Peace is an attribute in you. You cannot find it outside. Illness is some form of external searching. Health is inner peace. It enables you to remain unshaken by lack of love from without, and capable, through your acceptance of miracles, of correcting the conditions proceeding from lack of love in others. So to me, like in a day and age where it appears things are like, it appears there's chaos, and there's a lot of unrest, and there's a lot of separation and division and divisiveness and attack. That health is having your own sense of peace. And it's not to ignore how you really feel, because you can't just pretend to be peaceful if you're not. But it's noticing, what are you thinking that's contributing to your fear? It's really easy. I've been noticing so much fear. I've been noticing, I'm walking with Justine on a very peaceful bike path in Rhode Island, which is so relaxed and chill. And I'm thinking these traumatic stories, and I'm like, wow, okay, life is really intense right now, because there's just these like fear patterns. I'm just like walking into these fear clouds and being like, what if that guy comes and sees it and takes her? And I'm like, what? So I'm not ignoring that that's there. It's just continually deciding what to, and right back from the beginning, deciding what's true and what's not true. But there are so many tools out there to help you when you're not sure what's true or what's false. But what I've learned is what's true, it is peaceful. It gives you a sense of comfort. And what's not true is very upsetting. So there's your indicator. It's just sometimes we're not willing to let go of the thinking, you know, like things should be different. Like here's this example, Justine. We were washing our comforter at the laundromat because our washer is too small. So we went there, and then she saw this like stream, a small little stream of water going into like a drain. And then she started walking through the water with her sneakers on. And I was like, no. I was like, it upset me because I was like, no, you're not supposed to walk in with your sneakers. And I'm thinking, those are not waterproof, Justine. And she's like, dude, I don't know what's waterproof, you know? I'm like, you can't do that in your sneakers. No way. And I don't know why I reacted so, but the whole thing is like, oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. And so we don't always want to let go of like, oh, so I'm just supposed to let her jump around in puddles in her sneakers, which are not waterproof. And it's like, okay, you don't have to let her jump in there for hours, but maybe not freak out that that her shoes got wet. I mean, she's 2, and I think kids are supposed to get wet and dirty, you know. But I was like, no way. So I'm like, okay, love. I'm like, Angela, okay, let's think of another response. And I drove away after, like, and she was like, why? I drove away from there and was like, okay, next time let's just say something like, oops, nope, those are not waterproof. Let's jump out of the puddle. Okay, let's dry off in the sun, you know? But I was like, this shouldn't be happening. So noticing our response, okay? All right, talk so much, my lips are chapped. Okay, so great job. We're moving on. You're rocking it. Dance with us later. I